All right, what is going on, everybody? Captain here, back again with another Content Creators Program exclusive sneak peek at the new character that's going to be coming to the game, and I think a week or two. I'm not exactly sure the date, but it is Void, guys. He will be the new one. Also, before I want to get into this, I just want to say I've been sick for the last week, so if I sound all nasally or whatever, that is why. If I look miserable, that is why. So I'm going to try my best to get through this video with being as clear as possible. But yeah, apologies in advance for that. But yeah, Void, guys, he is coming to the game. So far, out of the champions that we have been given in advance, I would say he has definitely been the most fun and probably the best one out of them. I think he is definitely going to be one of the top science champions that will be introduced into the game. He has a lot of utility aspects that I like with him, mainly his Incinerate immune, which is good for Mephisto, of course, and just some other things that are kind of cool about him, all his debuffs, which I'll dive into in a second here. So right off the bat, I'll kind of show you, not necessarily prestige-wise, but there you can see with my 4 stars, he's right behind Archangel, just ahead of Hyperion, and mind you, this is with masteries. I haven't taken those into account. But yeah, those numbers will be out soon enough, guys. So I don't know exactly with the 5-star where he's going to rank for prestige, but I think he might be kind of up there. So that's a good sign for him as well if you're looking for a prestige champion. All right, so let's go ahead and just dive into his abilities, guys. So the main thing is his Fear the Void and putting on these all these different kinds of debuffs. So every 10 seconds, you can see right here, the second line there, every 10 seconds, a random debuff is placed on the enemy, and there adds 4 seconds if at least one Intimidating Presence debuff is already there. So the first one will go up in 10 seconds. If once you've put that first one on, the next couple will take 14 seconds, sounds like. So if you're fighting Void, you can remove these debuffs by getting up to every 10 combos. So a lot of people have been saying a good way to fight him is get to a 9 combo or 19 or 29, 39, whatever, and then once you get that debuff onto you, because it's a permanent debuff until for a brief period of time, there's no timer on it, but once you get to that 10th combo, it automatically takes off the debuff. So that's kind of a way to fight him. Another thing, when you're fighting him, for each champion alive on the opponent's team, Intimidating Presence debuffs have a 0.6 second delay before fully activating. So the more champions you have alive, the longer it's going to take for those debuffs to get applied onto you. But if all your champions are dead, it's going to activate quicker. So it's just kind of a little thing to remember. So the debuffs that he places on you are the Agility debuff, Fatigue debuff, and Petrify. The Agility one reduces ability accuracy of Evade and the Dexterity Mastery by 30% and max stack of 2. All of these have a max stack of 2. Fatigue increases your critical rate. Petrify, which is probably the biggest one, reduces the effectiveness of power gain and then regeneration, which most of you've probably seen this already. Hector and Seaton have posted videos of them taking on Realm of Legends Wolverine and basically just obliterates him in like almost a minute. It's crazy videos, guys. I encourage you to go check those out. I'm not going to make my own since they've already got him out there. I did do a Winter Soldier kill already and showcase his damage output kind of, and the way that I think he's best played, which is spamming the SP1, which we'll get to that why that is in a second. But yeah, go check that video out as well. But then when all Intimidating debuffs are at their max stacks, those debuffs will be removed after 5 seconds. That changes with his Awakened ability, which we'll get to. So yeah, but just saying right there, when he's not awakened, once every single one of those debuffs gets to the max 2 stacks, they all go away, and then you start the process over again. When an opponent suffers from a debuff, for each unique debuff, the opponent takes 109 direct damage per second, and this is unique, so it's not like if you have 2 Petrifies on him, it's not 218 for that, it's still 109, so each one, but once you put all 3 of them on there, it stacks up to that increased damage. So then Special 1 inflicts 1 Intimidating debuff, so that's pretty cool. You just have to use a Special 1, which is what I was saying. It's the fastest way to get these on, otherwise, rather than just waiting the 14 seconds or whatever it is for the debuff to get placed onto them. Use a Special 1. It instantly inflicts it. It doesn't change that timer, so sometimes you'll just like if you time it right, when the timer ends, you will activate 2 debuffs on the enemy at the same time, pretty much. Special 2 inflicts a dark sting, which essentially is like a power sting from, if you're familiar with how Yellow Jacket works. If you have these power stings or these dark stings on the enemy active, if they use a special ability, a special 1, 2, or 3, while they have them up, they will inflict either a weakness or a degen or a possibility of doing both. But overall, I think the special 1 is still more useful in the sense that it just activates those the presence debuffs instantly. Special 3, it gets more powerful based on how many of the unique buffs you have, so you'll get an increased power, increased fury based on how many that you have them on there. I think it's more so going to be useful to use this if your Void is not awakened, because then you'll get that increased fury. But if you have him awakened, let's go to his awakened ability now. While intimidating presence debuffs are at their max stacks, instead of being removed, like I said, after 5 seconds, if all 3 are at their max 2 stacks, they get removed. Instead, they'll be converted into the passive Fear of the Void, which grants Void an increased attack for 40 seconds. And then when Fear of the Void is active, Intimidating Presence generates debuffs 49.94% faster. So the Intimidating Presence after that will be activated faster. And then it can't go again more than 2 stacks. So Fear of the Void is like his biggest thing. You really want to get to this. If you want him, you want to have him awakened. It's going to make him a lot more useful. And using the special 1, you can just get that up to 6 stacks basically of all of them to maxed at 2, and that will turn it into Fear of the Void. And then you can get it again if you go fast enough. You can get up to your 2 stacks Fear of the Void, and then a couple more debuff stacks, and you'll see that the damage, this part where it says deals the direct damage, if you have 2 Fear of the Voids and then some other debuffs, he's going to be taking away a lot of damage, guys. It's pretty fun to watch and really fun to play with. So I've really been enjoying him. Hopefully that was kind of a clear understanding of him. Again, like I said, I'm sick, so I'm trying my best to portray this as best as possible. Quickly, we'll go through his synergies. Honestly, not a huge fan of his synergies. They don't really do much. Yes, he does get a fury gain up to 3 fury buffs by charging his heavy with the Hulk. They go away really fast. They don't last very long, but it's because like it's not instant like with Mordo where you charge it, you get the fury so fast. It takes a couple like second or 2 to actually get the furies active on you. So by the time you've gotten that 3rd fury active, the first one is already falling off or something. So I found myself not really using that as much. Gains 1 power bar under below 20% health for Hulk might be kind of fun to mess around with. I haven't done that yet. I don't have what's his name, Sentry, so I wasn't able to test this yet. But when activating Special 3, the Void gains a Reality Warp charge for 30 seconds, increasing the duration of all fury. So that again, that would only be beneficial if you're using the Hulk, because there's no other way that he gains a fury buff. So you really have to use those 3 together if you want to do that, which I guess that would make the furies more useful, but again, I can't test that. And it's kind of interesting he doesn't have a unique synergy with Sentry, since Sentry might have one with him. I'm not sure, again, I don't have him. So then this one, Fear of the Void activates at the start of the fight when you're fighting Avenger characters. I'm not really sure exactly how many characters in the game are actually Avengers characters, so I don't know how useful that is. So yeah, that's just kind of is what it is. And then you guys, he's got a crit synergy down there with Thor and Doctor Strange. So again, synergies I didn't find were very useful. I think the video that I did yesterday with the Winter Soldier fight, it was with a crit synergy team, the mutant team, which I found probably to be the best. So yeah, that's kind of going to do it for Void here. Overall, I think he's a very fun champion, very easy champion to use. The stacking the intimidating buffs is really easy just by letting the timer expire and then using the special 1. They stack up really fast. I'm probably going to do a separate video on like kind of how that whole process works, like actual footage of it, because this video's kind of gone on long enough. And so overall, I think being awakened, obviously, it's going to make him better. But being unawakened, he still can be useful because those debuffs and the direct damage they deal based on each one individually is still a huge help. But the Fear of the Void is a big thing with him. He really definitely makes him a lot stronger, especially when you're trying to reverse healing or power gain and all that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this champion review, guys. Again, this was Content Creator Program. I do not get to keep this champion. He will be leaving my roster in a couple days here, so I just got a couple days here to test him out. If there's anything you guys would like me to record and post, guys, let me know, because I'm definitely open for anything to test him out with. So thank you for watching this one, guys, and I'll catch you next time.